Let's go, Phoenix Suns fans. Let's go. Game 4 victory goes to your Phoenix Suns, 112-100. In sort of a crazy game, to be honest, you guys. We got lots to talk about here. Thank you all for choosing to be here. I really do appreciate it. Even if you guys are watching later in the show or later throughout the day or tomorrow or whatever, I do appreciate you. As always, let's do a mic check. Let me know how we're sounding and looking as always. Also, you guys, I've been getting your guys' feedback via, on social media, asking you guys if you want to do more call-in shows or have me get more guests on or whatever the case may be. And today I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good today, you guys. So I'm going to let you guys later hop on and call in, if you will. The only thing I do ask if you call in is to keep it professional and make sure you actually have like some kind of a take or opinion or even a question, even if it's just a question for me. Make sure you know what you're talking about if you are going to call in. So yeah, I will be posting that link a little bit later on, but holy cow, you guys, we have so much to talk about. I am sticking to Sprite today. Got my Sprite and I got a water next to me. I had one of these energy drinks earlier. Absolutely delicious, helps keep me focused. And I'm ready for the weekend, you guys. It's Saturday and everything. I got the day off tomorrow and all that good stuff. So looking forward to the weekend. So as always, Suns fans, pop them if you got them. Let me know what you're drinking in the chat. Got my Sprite right here. We'll take a sip of this and then we will get started. Cheers. Delicious. Thank you, Metal Mike, for letting me know how we're sounding. Thank you, Harlem Vega, for the compliment on the hat. Appreciate you. And thank you to everybody that's in here. Thank you, Andrew Tate. Healthy him, says DeAndre Ayton came today. Came into work today with his man card. That's hilarious. We definitely will be talking about Ayton in a little bit. All right, you guys, let's do this. So what I like to do when I do these post-game live shows is I like to talk about the opening, really the first few opening possessions and really just the first half, especially this series, because we have not been that great in the first half of this series. But I want to talk about really just the start of the game. So the very first possession of this game, the Suns got the ball and they went to DeAndre Ayton first, and they really went to DeAndre Ayton a few different times throughout the start of the game. And when who was it that said it, when Healthy Him said that DeAndre Ayton brought his man card today, that was definitely an understatement. They went to him the first few possessions of the game. He was attacking. His energy was absolutely incredible this game. He had, I want to say, 4 or 5 offensive rebounds, maybe by halftime. And I can't wait to read the stats here in a little bit, because offensive rebounding was huge, especially for the Suns in the first half. Kevin Durant found DeAndre Ayton early. KD drew the help defense and then found Ayton down low for the score. There was one turnover, though. I do want to talk about Ayton just real quick. DeAndre Ayton had kind of a funny turnover where I don't know why he decided not to take it in on Eric Gordon, but he had the mismatch on Eric Gordon and he tried to dish it out to CP3 and it went way over CP3's head. I believe it was CP3, and he threw it into the crowd. I thought that was funny. We saw that play where Chris Paul caught the ball and kind of drove in and made Eric Gordon fall. That led to the Booker 3. There were so many second chances in this game, I should say. Lots of offensive rebounds. I feel like we got off to a really good 6, maybe 7-minute start. And I think the Clippers called a safety timeout. This is where the game got a little weird, because the Suns seemed to be clicking. I mean, KD had it going. Booker had it going. DeAndre Ayton was excellent offensively and defensively. It just seemed like a lot of things were going our ways. And then all of a sudden, the Suns didn't score for like 3 minutes. The Clippers went on a 12-3 run within pretty much 3 minutes. Their defense was better. They were hitting shots. Russell Westbrook was being Russell Westbrook, who we're definitely going to talk about that later. Someone in the chat says, I don't want to butcher your name, Miss Shellaball. I don't want to butcher your name. Says Suns Geek drinking Sprite like Grant Hill. Cheers. Anyways, so the Clippers go on a big run within like 3 minutes. The Clippers ended the quarter on a 27-7 run. The Suns were down 7. I believe the largest lead, and I want to make sure I'm getting this right. I believe the largest lead for the Clippers, at least at halftime anyways, was it was 11 throughout the entire game. The largest lead they ever had was 11. So by the 8:33 mark of the second quarter, the Suns had scored 7 points in 10 minutes, which is just so weird. Like, I don't know if it's just the excellent defense by the Clippers, how they're putting a body on Kevin Durant, double teaming Kevin Durant, playing physical up in his face and everything. But it just seemed like the offense wasn't really getting into a rhythm after an excellent, like maybe 7-minute start that the Suns had. Then the second quarter happened. And this was a weird second quarter, especially for the Clippers. They had, I want to say, 10 or 11 turnovers in the entire second quarter. And it's weird because the ESPN box score or team stats, I believe, showed that they had 10, but I swear that it was 11. And I don't know what happened to close out the second quarter, but the Phoenix Suns did an excellent job of closing out the second quarter. And it was only like a 4-point game or something like that. It was weird. It seemed like the Suns team would find rhythm, but only for a few minutes throughout the game. Because the Clippers were leading the first quarter 30-23. And then the Suns, due to all the Clippers turnovers, due to all the Clippers turnovers, they had 25 points compared to the Clippers 17. I wrote down the stats at halftime. The Suns were shooting 37, pretty much 38%. They were 7 for 45 from the field. So the shots were going up. They just weren't really going in. The Clippers were 18 for 45. That was good enough for 40, but they were 5 for 18 from 3. The Suns were leading the rebounding battle at halftime, 27-22. 9 of those were offensive. And as I mentioned, the Clippers turned the ball over 10 times. KD and Booker, I think they had 13 and 14 at halftime. Ayton had 11, 7, 2, and 1 on 5 for 10 shooting. Then we fast forward to the third quarter. Clippers get off to a 9-0 run to start the third. Started off with an Eric Gordon alley-oop, I believe. Devin Booker had a turnover, which led to a Marcus Senior 3. Kevin Durant then had a turnover, which led to a Russell Westbrook layup. And then after the safety timeout by Monty Williams, another Suns turnover. Oh boy, the turnovers were definitely the story for both teams in this game. And then, again, as I mentioned, the Suns started to really find rhythm throughout certain moments and key stretches throughout this game. Because to end the third quarter, the Suns were 12 for 28 from the field in the third. Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, we'll just call them Kevin Booker, had 23 points. This game was a little too close for comfort, maybe except for like the final 3 minutes. And the reason I bring that up is because the Suns had back-to-back turnovers late in this game. That was when Devin Booker had that 8-second violation turnover, which is absolutely unacceptable. You should not be doing that. I don't care who you are. 8-second violation should never happen. Then Kevin Durant had the turnover where Bones Highland intercepted it, which led to the Westbrook 3. And then after that, the Suns got clicking. They locked down. Chris Paul took over. It was pretty much the ball game from there. So yeah, turnovers were definitely the story of this game. So after I take a sip of my Sprite, we are going to talk about, we're just going to go down the list like we always do, because there is just so much to talk about, you guys. And I just want to remind you, if you guys are just joining the show, this will be a call-in show. I'll get some of you guys on here. I'll try to get to everybody. Make sure you have, make sure to come with your hot takes or whatever. Make sure you know what you're talking about if you're going to be on here. And if not, I'll try to at least ask you a question. We'll see how you guys are feeling about the game and everything. So I will be posting that link in the chat here in a little bit. But do me a favor, you guys, make sure to Hulk smash that like button, like and share the show. I'm going to take a sip of my Sprite, and then we got lots more to talk about. So cheers. So as always, I want to start this show by talking about the one and only Devin Booker.
Devin Armani Booker.
Devin freaking Booker. I responded to a tweet where someone said that Russell Westbrook has arguably been the second best player in the series. And my original response wanted to be, well, it's probably Devin Booker outside of Kawhi Leonard, who, only played the 2 games or whatever. I think it's honestly been Booker, Kawhi, and Westbrook. But you could honestly flip-flop. Excuse me, I got a burp. I'm sorry. Excuse me, my apologies. I think you could flip-flop Kawhi and Westbrook as the second best player in the series. In my biased opinion, the best player in the series has been Devin Booker. He's been absolutely incredible, you guys, offensively and defensively. Tonight, 41 minutes, he scored 30 points, had 7 assists, which I feel like kind of some of them flew under the radar, in my opinion. 30 points, 7 assists, 3 steals, 9 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds, by the way. And he only had 4 turnovers and 1 foul. He was a +5 for all you plus-minus fans out there. Devin Booker was incredible. Took over when he needed to. One of those assists, by the way, was a well-timed, well-placed, great vision pass where KD kind of just creeped over to the corner. Booker had the ball and just passed it through. It was like up the court. I forgot what they call it, but he just dished it to KD, nailed it in the corner. But Booker was excellent. Rolling off his screens, just doing what he does, hitting the mid-range shots, driving to the basket. How many times did he get to the foul line tonight? Got to the foul line 7 out of 8 times. Took over when he needed to. Devin Booker was excellent. But again, it's also just defensively. Like we kind of saw in game 1, for example. He's just been great defensively. Playmaking out there, hitting the big shots, being a great leader out there. He also had that beautiful save, which I believe led to a Kevin Durant transition score. I think one of the it might have been Russell Westbrook or somebody shot the ball. It missed. Booker saved it. I believe Josh Okogie caught it and then eventually dished it to the wide open Kevin Durant. So Booker was absolutely excellent out there, you guys. Let's move on to the next player I want to talk about. And I don't know if I'm going to spend too much time on this player, and you're going to see why here in a minute, but let's talk about Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant. Here's why I'm not going to spend too much time talking about KD. It's honestly just been because the Clippers have been doing such a great job at throwing different defenses at us, throwing different defenses at Kevin Durant, that we haven't really been able to see that like explosive takeover KD. And you can tell at times it is frustrating. It's frustrating for the Suns. It's frustrating for him. Like last game, he had that transition throw down kind of frustration dunk. But I mean that as a compliment. And last live show, I'm getting repetitive here. I talked about how Kevin Durant is such an excellent player and an excellent scorer that the defenses can be thrown at him, and yet he still impacts the game. Because tonight, he was incredible once again, but I feel like a lot of the credit is going to go to a Booker a DeAndre Ayton, and then late in the fourth quarter, a Chris Paul. I think that just goes to show how great this team really is. Because in 45 minutes, Kevin Durant was a very efficient, in my opinion, 9 for 17 from the field, hit 3 threes, got to the free throw line 11 times, made 10 free throws. He had 31 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. Now, he did have three turnovers and 3 fouls, but he was excellent. I mean, again, just one of those guys who did all that he could with what he could do. Playmaked out there, hit the big shots, was aggressive when he needed to. It was like a repeat performance from Devin Booker out there in a way. It was like him and Booker were doing the exact same things and did all that they could in order for the Suns to get the win. And I also mentioned how earlier in the game, KD was trying to find DeAndre Ayton a lot. And again, KD's playmaking has been a really underrated aspect of his game really throughout his entire career, but especially since he was traded to the Phoenix Suns. And you know what? Since I just mentioned that Kevin Durant was traded to the Phoenix Suns, we got to play this video.
Holy crap, you guys. Kevin Durant is coming to the Phoenix Suns. It's 150% guaranteed. Kevin Durant is coming to the Phoenix Suns. Yes!
I think this comment sums up the last 2 games from Kevin Durant right here from Marv Ellis. Durant knows what he's doing. Seasoned superstar. He'll peak when fit to do so. That's what I'm saying. Like, he takes over when he needs to take over. Even if it's just like a few points in a row or like a couple threes, or maybe he'll get like a few assists back to back. Like, that's what Kevin Durant does. He's incredible. But another reason that I didn't want to spend too much time on him is because we absolutely have to talk about how great DeAndre Ayton was tonight. Let's play his drop.
The Phoenix Suns select DeAndre Ayton.
Let me just get this out of the way right now. Yes, DeAndre Ayton had 5 turnovers. Whatever. We all know that he needs to work on his hands. Like I mentioned, he had that bad turnover where he threw it into the 3rd row. Whatever. DeAndre Ayton was excellent tonight from the jump. And I mean that. From the jump, DeAndre Ayton was great. Better energy, contesting shots out there, rebounding better. He finished this game with I want to make sure I'm getting this right. 4 offensive rebounds. I believe a lot of those came maybe even in the first quarter, if not the first half. But he had 13 rebounds, 15 points, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and 1 assist. And I believe that assist might have come from Chris Paul. I think it's either Chris Paul or Booker. I think he had like a bounce pass, which led to one of the Suns hitting a 3, I believe. But DeAndre Ayton was excellent. Look, 15, 13, and 2 on 7 for 13 shooting in 36 minutes may not be a mind-blowing stat line, but it was more than that. And it really did start from the jump. This is the DeAndre Ayton that we are going to need going forward. And if Ayton can just build off this momentum, build off this big game, we are going to be tough to beat. We need Ayton to do this every single game. And I thought he was really good out there, you guys. Excuse me. I'm not saying he didn't struggle throughout certain stretches or whatever. And mistakes are going to happen. We saw Booker make mistakes tonight. We saw the Suns as a team make mistakes tonight, especially with the turnovers and all that. It happens. You go through stretches throughout the game. But he was incredible. I mean, last game I was harping on him and I was just saying there was no effort. There was no energy there. The body language was bad, but this game, it was the complete opposite. It was great. I mean, I don't know how else to really analyze it or explain it, except for he was great. And we just need this DeAndre Ayton going forward. So RG leaves the comment here. I got to say, Chris Paul, he finished the game off. How about your MVP? I think they're having a chat in the comments. Let's talk about Chris Paul moving on now. I mean, this was a takeover Chris Paul kind of game. 38 minutes, 19 points, 9 assists, 3 steals, somehow had 3 blocks, and was 8 for 17 shooting and hit some key shots when they mattered down the stretch. He had a nice 3 on which I believe it was Eric Gordon from just straight on. He kind of shook Aaron Gordon away and kind of stepped backward a little bit and he hit the nice 3. And then I think immediately after that, I think I don't know if it was like the shot clock was about to go off or something, but he was in the corner. He caught the ball and just faded away. He sent a prayer and it went in. And it was incredible. That second half was just so damn good by Chris Paul, just taking over when it mattered, hitting those big shots when it mattered. And Chris Paul was excellent. And this is just another reminder that, yes, Chris Paul is regressing. He's slowing down. He's aging. Yada, yada. I've heard it all. Doesn't matter. Chris Paul steps up when he needs to. He is our quarterback. He is our team captain out there. He was incredible, especially down the stretch of this game. And one thing I'm noticing looking at the box score is really how, to an extent, like pretty much everybody was efficient. I mean, Katie was 9 for 17. Torrey Craig was 4 for 7. Ayton was 7 for 13. Paul was 8 for 17. Booker was 10 for 21, but he had 3 threes. Like, we were super efficient tonight, you guys. And I think that is key right there. That is big. Josh Okogie, 25 minutes, had 6 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, doing Josh Okogie things out there. You probably want to see Josh Okogie hitting a few more shots, you know what I mean? Or at least, getting to the basket or whatever it may be. But I thought he was fine tonight. Bismack Biyombo, I thought, provided some decent minutes out there. He had a key block in this game, which eventually led to a Devin Booker 3. That was huge. One of those momentum swingers, if you will. Only finished the game with 3 points, 2 rebounds, 1 block, but played well. Damian Lee didn't score tonight, but he was out there for a little bit, and then Landry Shamet was Landry Shamet. His minutes keep dropping, and they should keep dropping. He should just not play. He's just really bad. He should only play if we have like a comfortable 25-point lead, maybe more than that, because he's been bad, man. And then the rest of the bench didn't play. I am kind of curious if we are going to see a Terrence Ross or maybe a TJ Warren a little bit more in game 5. But again, if we don't see them till the next round, I think that's okay. But I would like to see a little bit of them, even if it's just for a little bit. But the Damian Lee minutes have been noticeable. Excuse me, I got the burps going on again. So let me talk about the Clippers real quick, and then I will put the link in the chat, and I'll try to get as many of you guys on as I possibly can. Russell Westbrook. I said at the start of the show that you could flip-flop him and Kawhi Leonard as being the second best player in this series. And I really mean that, you guys. Today we saw the efficient Russell Westbrook. He had 37 points in 40 minutes, 17 for 29 from the field, hit 3 threes. One of those threes was late. I think he had like 2 back-to-back threes kind of in the fourth quarter and when it mattered. And there was 1 3 where he created space for himself. I don't know why Booker didn't even attempt to contest the shot or go at him, but he hit the 3. And I remember a couple people responding to me on Twitter saying like, oh, it's because Russell Westbrook and he doesn't hit the shots when they matter. I'm like, I don't care, dude. Russell Westbrook has been cooking us this series. He's been excellent offensively and defensively, and we're just letting him shoot threes out there. We're letting him cook us out there. I was like, that defense is unacceptable. But he was great tonight, getting to the rim when he could. He's looking like, I said this last live show, like he's giving us flashes of that MVP, prime, healthy Westbrook. You know what I mean? And I also saw a stat that if I read it right on the broadcast, Russell Westbrook has 6 25-plus point games with the Clippers. And he's looking great. He also had 6 rebounds, 4 assists, a block, and a steal. I mean, we obviously don't know what Kawhi would have done in games 3 and 4 had he played, because he was excellent in the first 2 games. But I really think it's Westbrook and Kawhi as the 2 second best players in the series. And then it's like KD, et cetera, et cetera. So Russell Westbrook was amazing. Let's move on here. We saw a different Norman Powell in this game. A lot of that was honestly because of foul trouble, and I think they were honestly just playing him better. They weren't leaving him wide open. He wasn't really getting the shots that he was used to in game 3. And one of my friends, Thunder Steve, who's been on this channel, pointed it out. He's like, I doubt that Norman Powell goes for 40 or whatever he had last game. And that's true. Like, I think even if he didn't get into the foul trouble that Norman Powell did, like, I don't think he would have gone off for 40 again. He definitely struggled in this game. He had 14 points in 37 minutes on an inefficient 4 for 15. He had 4 rebounds and 5 fouls and 3 turnovers. Eric Gordon wasn't very productive, 10 points in just 32 minutes. Nick Batum came off the bench in this game, and I think Nick Batum even talked about coming off of the bench, which I don't think that was probably the smart decision in hindsight, because Morris Sr. really struggled this game offensively and defensively. Couldn't hit a shot to save his life. And even though Morris can be a little pesky sometimes on defense, it didn't matter. Like, I think Nick Batum probably should have started this game, is what I'm trying to say. And then they didn't really get much help from their bench. Robert Covington only saw 8 minutes. There was a stretch, though. There was a stretch where Terrence Mann and Miles Plumlee were actually playing really well. There was a small stretch. There was that one highlight where Terrence Mann threw the lob to Miles Plumlee, and it seemed like they sort of had like a pick and roll thing going on. They were connecting on plays. They're being productive offensively and defensively. They're running the fast break. Terrence Mann was good, though. 30 minutes, he had 13 points, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and he was 5 for 9 from the field. And Plumlee had 8 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. And I don't know if it's like, if they like went away from that, or if the Suns just started picking up on what they were doing out there. Like, they were playing. Did I not say Mason Plumlee? Did I say Miles Plumlee? Y'all are saying Mason Plumlee. Mason, I don't know what I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about, you guys. I'm going to call them Kobe and Shaq, okay? Because for a minute, they were looking like Kobe and Shaq. Didn't matter who we had out there. Terrence Mann and Mason Plumlee were playing great. But again, we didn't see much from Zubac in this game. I don't know if he's just like hurt or something, or if DeAndre Ayton's just playing great on him, or if they're not going to Zubac too much. He hasn't really been a factor, I believe, in the last 2 games. Again, Gordon didn't really produce that much. Norman Powell, with the foul troubles and the turnovers. Again, this just goes to show why you need your 2 best players in Kawhi Leonard and Paul George out there. And I just really wonder what this series would look like if even if just Kawhi was out there. Because I think this Clippers team has gone to show us that they really are a deeper team than we thought, and or if these guys just know how to step up when it matters in the playoffs. Because I asked in game 3, in the game 3 post-game show, I said, did that game 3 reveal more about the Suns, or did it reveal more about the Clippers? Or if it was just a strange game, kind of like today. Today was a really strange game, especially with the turnovers. And that's going to lead us into our next segment. And then I'm going to post the link to the chat and you guys can call in, okay? Let's talk about the numbers. 41 out of 84 shooting for the Suns from the field. They shot nearly 49%, which is absolutely incredible. Clippers shot 43.5. Suns had 9 threes in this game compared to the Clippers 12. Suns shot 40% from 3, pretty much 41%. Suns got to the free throw line a lot less, but at the same time, pretty good in this game getting to the free throw line. 21 for 27. Clippers got to the free throw line 8 times. We won the rebounding battle 49-43. We had 14 offensive rebounds, 4 of those by DeAndre Ayton. We had 25 assists compared to their 19, 10 steals, 8 blocks, 18 turnovers. I'm telling you, you guys, this might have been a different game if we wouldn't have turned that damn ball over, man. We had 18 turnovers. You can't do that, especially 2 late in the fourth quarter, one of those being an 8-second violation. I hate that. I hate that turnover, man. Suns had 21 points off turnovers. The Clippers had 15 points off turnovers. We had 15 fast break points, and they beat us in the points in the paint battle by 4, and they had 22 fouls. So I'm going to take a sip of my Sprite, you guys. I'm going to put on my headphones, and then we will get some of you guys on. Just make sure you have a take or something or an opinion. I'm going to just see how you guys are feeling about the game. Let me know if we need to make certain adjustments for Game 5. Let me know your thoughts headed into Game 5. I'm going to put the link in the chat right now. I'm sharing it. Let me just type something up. Let's do this real quick, you guys. I'm sorry. Okay, whatever. I posted the link in the chat. So if y'all want to join, y'all can join. But yeah, the Suns are 1 win away from ending this series. Let me take a sip of my Sprite. And even though I was a little disappointed in the game in Game 3, a win is a win. Kind of like today, a win is a win. Today was a little more comfortable of a win than Game 3 was. But what the Suns are focusing on and what they should be thinking about is that they are 1 win away, and they just have to execute for 48 minutes. They have to play Phoenix Suns basketball for 48 minutes and get that Game 5 win. In Phoenix, by the way. All right. So we're going to bring on our first guest. You guys, if you want to call into the show and give your thoughts, your opinions, whatever it may be, questions, concerns, get them in right now. And I'm going to bring on Andrew to the show. Andrew.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Andrew?
Hey, Suns Geeks. How you been?
I'm great, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing so good.
Yep.
I was watching the game live like the whole time, the whole 48 minutes, and like it's been so amazing.
Yeah, man, it was great.
Yep.
How you feeling after Game 4, man? How you feeling?
I feel very like great, like feel amazing.
That's good, man.
Yep. But I kind of expect Monty Williams to play like a more bench player,
Yeah.
like P-Ross ish, like other guy and stuff. But I'm still wondering when campaign gonna be back. Like, you think you have any takes on that?
Yeah, that's a great question, man. Thanks for asking that. I don't, man. I just know that from what I remember, he really did take a hard fall and he landed on his back and immediately grabbed his back. And back injuries can be tricky, man. I mean, I've never had an injury that severe to the back, and I'm obviously not a doctor, but I know that even just the slightest back pain and you're feeling different.
Right.
And, Campaign's still a young guy and everything, but this is basketball, man. And they don't want to rush that back. I think maybe our offense, especially the playmaking, would be a lot different if Campaign was on the court. But yeah, that's a great question, man. Hopefully we do see him for Game 5. If not, I think I'm okay with that as long as we can get the win. Kind of like how the Sixers did today without Joel Embiid, like win, give them more time to rest, etc. And yeah, so Andrew, any final thoughts, man?
But this is a bit off topic, but I heard Giannis got the same injury, just like Campaign, and he's out for today's games again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that. I saw people tweeting about that before I went live. Yeah, that sucks for Giannis, man. And it just sucks that there's a lot of injuries right now. Like Tyler Hero's out, Joel Embiid's out, just all these players, man. It sucks. So Andrew, thank you for calling in the show, man.
Yes, sir.
Have a good day, man.
You
Later,
too.
bro.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate Andrew for calling in and bringing up a good point about campaign that I haven't really talked too much about. So you guys, I'm going to share the link one more time. If you guys want to call in, give your thoughts or whatever. If not, we'll probably wrap this show up. I pretty much have talked about everything else I want to talk about, but if you guys want to call in, ask your questions, whatever the case may be, let me know. We have some other NBA games going on right now. Earlier, we saw the Philadelphia 76ers sweep the Brooklyn Nets. And real quick, I tweeted out after that game, I said, first off, I'm happy for the Sixers because I'm good friends with like Romp, who's a Sixers fan, Philly Take with RB, DJ Eastwood, all of them. So I feel like a little connected with that Sixers team. So I'm happy for them. But at the same time, I tweeted out, I was like, Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson are going to put in the work this offseason, and they're going to come back better and stronger. And Brooklyn Nets fans, if you happen to be watching, you guys should be excited about Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. And I don't know what's going to happen with Cam Johnson because I believe he's an unrestricted free agent. But you probably figure they would sign him. But we'll have to see what happens with that. Later, though, we have the Bucks and Heat. Remember, the Heat stole game one. Series is tied 1-1. Then we have the Lakers and Grizzlies. Same thing with them. Lakers stole game one, and the Grizzlies responded in game two. So we're going to have to see what happens with those series. So I think that's it, you guys. I mean, I got the link in the chat if y'all want to hop on, but I think that's it. If you guys got any questions for me, let me know. This is going to be a spontaneous segment. You guys, I understand if you guys don't want to watch after this, but I'm going to post a picture on the screen. And what you guys got to do is pick a number, and I will answer that question. This is going to be a get to know Suns Geek segment here. I posted this on Twitter last night. I posted it on my Instagram story. So I'm going to post this picture, and you guys can pick a number, and I will answer the question, and then we'll wrap things up. But we do got a couple questions real quick. Christopher says, actually, I want to answer this question, but I know nothing about it. Who wins tonight, Davis or Garcia? I have no clue. Let's just say Garcia. Why not? I don't know. I don't follow that stuff. So yeah, go ahead, put in an answer or whatever, or pick a number, and I will answer that question. So get that in right now, you guys. And then we're pretty much going to wrap this thing up. I did answer a couple of these on social media and Twitter. Someone asked me like places that I'd want to visit. I said like New York, Los Angeles, so many, man. Coda Kid said, no, Geek, horrible pick. I don't follow that fighting UFC. I don't even. Andrew said number 2. The question or the answer to number 2 is I'm about 6 foot, like 5'11" ish. The QC says, what other YouTube channels do you enjoy? That's a good question, QC. A lot of YouTube channels. I obviously subscribe and follow a lot of Suns channels, like my guys over at the Suns Jam Session podcast, who I believe are at some bar restaurant right now doing their show live. Go subscribe to them. They're great. Lots of other Suns channels I follow and podcasts and all that. But beyond that, I'm a really big Batman fanboy, big Star Wars fanboy, Spider-Man, et cetera, et cetera. So I follow a lot of like the comic book and, movie channels. I love movies. I could go on all day with some of the channels I'm subscribed to. All right, let's see. Next question from Christopher Garcia, number 13, cats or dogs? Oh, bro, dogs all day. But I have had 2 cats who are in cat heaven right now. So rest in peace to them. But I do love dogs all day. RG 28. What is 28? Biggest fear. Oh man. Heights, spiders. What was the other one? I had another one too. Oh, and I don't know. I have a few fears, but yeah, those are 2 of mine. I forgot what my third. I responded to that on Instagram. Number 10, obsession. The Phoenix Suns. Batman. Yeah, Phoenix Suns and Batman. I'll just leave it at that. And oh yeah, and I have an addiction, as you guys know. I have an addiction to Phoenix Suns hats. No matter how broke I am, no matter how big my paychecks are, I'm always buying Phoenix Suns hats. And I'm always looking at Phoenix Suns hats too. All right, we'll get a few more of these and then we're gonna wrap it up. 36. Someone you miss. Man, I miss all my friends in Phoenix, man. I was talking to one of my best friends about that over text today, about missing all my friends and everything. 13. I already answered cats and dogs. Adam Davis says 3-1, baby. I recommend the Sports Fury, sir. They're good friends of mine. Very YouTube sports community friendly. That's awesome, man. You know, it's one of those things, like, I'm a casual when it comes to like football, baseball. That's an understatement. Saying I'm a casual is an understatement when it comes to other sports. But I do try to support those kind of creators, especially the YouTubers and podcasters who aren't like dicks and who aren't like, spitting out the hot takes all the time. That's why I support a lot of other Suns content creators, for example. And I like to collaborate with all of them and NBA content creators. Andrew says, number 37, where would you like to live? I'd like to live in Phoenix. I don't know where else I would want to live, to be honest, outside of that. 17 is Scars. I do have some stitches. I don't know if you guys can see it because over time it's kind of faded, but it's kind of faded away, but I got stitches right here like a long time ago when I was a kid. I believe I like flew into a light pole when I was a kid going down on a skateboard. I was sitting down on it and just ting. And yeah. And then I have I have a physically, this isn't going to make sense. I have a trauma scar from my shoulder injuries. I've dislocated my shoulder twice in like 4 or 5 years. So that sucks. Coda Kids says 19. Last time you cried. Oh man. Well, I don't remember the last time I cried, but I was live on YouTube when the Suns lost in Game 7. I cried then. I legit was on the verge of tears. I even uploaded a video about it. Yeah. Because I like to be as honest and as transparent and as real with you guys as I can. And I legit cried that day. Derek asked a good question here. Number 8, which is relationship status, single. Very, very single. Best friends. Oh man, I got a lot of best friends. My guy Alan, happy birthday to him, by the way. Wait, I want to make sure this is off the screen. Happy birthday to my guy Alan, one of my longest, oldest best friends. His birthday today. He's awesome. I love that guy. He's the reason that I consider myself to be a Gears of War fan. Shout out to my guy Aaron, who's been on this channel a few times. Carlos, Anthony, Aaron, Steve. I got so many, man. I'm blessed to have a whole bunch of best friends. Yo, Suns Geek, I'm a broke, all because I'll be buying Suns hats, D-backs, Coyotes, U of A, Arizona Cardinals hats. That's me, man. That's pretty much me in a nutshell. Coda Kid says, here's a hot take. Kawhi not coming back the rest of the series. Okay, we're going to end it on this. You guys. Chris Haynes, and I believe like Woj and all them were reporting, and I quote, that there is no timetable for Kawhi Leonard's return. Now, I'm always the believer in you could wake up tomorrow feeling great, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's coming back. So that's a accurate take. Derek says, I am your best friend too, bro, because we're Suns fans. Exactly. You guys are all my best friends because you guys are watching me ramble. You guys are watching me talk about my personal life. And I love you guys. But on that note, I don't want to waste any more of your Saturday. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for choosing to listen to me talk about the Phoenix Suns. I truly love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Without you guys, this channel is just me talking to a webcam. And I really appreciate you guys. So stay tuned for more Suns content, everybody. I think after this, I'm going to upload a new episode of Reacting to Suns Twitter. And then I might take a mental health day tomorrow, unless there's like crazy breaking Suns news or Clippers related news to this series. We'll see. But I will see you guys Tuesday. Very excited. The Phoenix Suns, I have faith that we're going to win game 5. We're going to close out this series and we're going to be fully healthy going into the second round series. So I love you guys. Thank you for letting me be real with you guys. Thank you guys for letting me just express myself and talk about the Phoenix Suns. I love you guys. I'm out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Go do something fun. Take care of your mental health. Go be with your families and your loved ones. I love you guys. I'm out. Peace.